right, you're good.
Okay, I appreciate you coming down here to listen to me. And I appreciate the people that will hear this through this fine newspaper. And I believe this newspaper will be on the world, all over the world. And world is people. Earth is earth, but people are the world. And God gave me a message. And I was a foolish man. I'm guilty, more guilty than anybody that ever existed on this earth. And yet I live and sleep and don't even touch a food or a pot or anything until God says, go ahead. And then I even say, when I'm going to do something right now, I'm talking to these beautiful people, and God said, tell them. I said, yes, I'll tell them. But it'll be up to their choice to say yes or no to do what I'm asking to do through you, my God. Here's the story. How many times have you said to yourself this word? And you'll have to wait to hear it, because that's how we do it. I'm like a magician waiting for the real key to happen, the illusion to take place. Would you give a handout or a helping hand to your sister or brother? And the reason I use the word sister first, not only respect, but as my mommy used to say, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us women. So I give the ladies the respect. Now, would you give dignity and pride, take it away from someone, or would you allow them to have it, dignity and pride? Or would you give the reason to someone to commit suicide and take their life and then think it's okay to take their loved ones because when your dignity and pride is taken away, or you lost something, you just treated in your mind that this is it, and this is that, and this is it. Words can be misunderstood. There is no love in the word that I'm going to share with you at the end. There is no positive that I'm going to even try to get out of it. It's all negative, and it goes down, down, down. And it's got nothing to do with him. It's got more done with him. The most important thing, my friends, that are listening to these words, and I want you to learn to see with your ears, and I want you to learn to hear with your eyes, and you'll realize the truth of God. I'm nothing, but God gave us a gift, a drop of air of His breath, and we destroy it in so many ways. But that's not for now. What's for now is this. If you had a chance to turn over and really give a person a helping hand, and then really give them a reason to have dignity and pride, then you are giving them the greatest gift for Easter. The greatest gift for Easter. This is my dear friend here. So good to see you. Here's one of my brothers. Come on and give me a Christian hug. I love the big guy.
All right.
This is the ones that make you pop. Just remember him. He has the
pizza here.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I want to say to you is this. There is so much happening in this world, and we use the words the wrong way. We heard people left and right. People say bully. What is bullying? Bully can be a plain thing, and it's going to shock you. It can be a plain thing as a cigarette. It bulls you. It makes you go out in the cold, freezing weather. It makes you do things you don't even want to do because you're freezing, but yet you're smoking. You're taking God's breath away, the greatest gift He gives you. There are babies that are born that don't even have the chance to have that great gift. They have oxygen, and there's older people getting oxygen, and yet that's what happens. So listen, my sisters and brothers, I know, because I'm also known as Preacher Jim. I'm also known as the Man of God, Jim the Entertainer. But I am nothing still if I do not believe that everything that I do comes from Him, and I can do nothing without His okay. Now, it is years and years we've been killing and giving reason for people to commit suicide and kill their own family. We've been giving them reason to think that they're dirt and filth. They won't tell you that, but they feel it. The proof is in the pudding when you see them committing suicide. The proof is in the pudding when you see them walk away with their heads down like an ostrich trying to stick it in the ground and not being seen by maybe a cousin, a brother, or a sister, even a father or a mother, or maybe even by a school or maybe by a serviceman that they fought in the war to save this country. Yes, keep this God in this country. It's important. Yes, keep God in all schools, because once God is out, then the USA is not the USA, and what we're fighting for is just an empty hole. The word, does anyone even imagine? If you've used it in any way, or as one priest said in Ohio to me, well, he doesn't use it. I said, do you tell your people? Because he is a shepherd. Do you tell your congregation? He says, no, it's none of my business. Well, it is his business. It's all our business. When we say something or don't say it, we can be doing wrong. We must stand up for what we believe, and we must stop the other people saying the things that we know, truthfully and whole. God did not say it the way we took it. And the word, my friends, my sisters and brothers, is homeless, worthless, useless, nutless, suicide. What do I mean by that? Well, look in that word and see if you can find the word love. Any way you can see that. Every single word in a dictionary. When I was in a wheelchair for many months, I was able to get through and really get through to understand it more clear than I've ever understood my whole life. Homeless, there's no love. Homeless, it's 100%, 25, you could say, negative. And it takes pride and dignity away. And it destroys the people's feeling that there's something important. It makes them hang their head like an ostrich and get in that hole that they can't be seen. And it also leaves them at the end of their life. They might be millionaires and done wonders to the end of their life. But when they're end of their life, and I was saying to them, yes, through Jesus Christ, I'll forgive your sins. There's no one else will come. If someone said you had AIDS, they didn't want to bother you. Once that was happening, now we got that clear in our mind. There's nothing wrong. It's like anything else. But the thing is, we have been calling people homeless, and we have been giving them shame and dignity taken away, and we have not given them a helping hand. We have given them a handout, and we have not taught them every day to fish until they have learned and helped their loved ones fish. We've been shoving a fish down their throat until they are dead, and maybe they even kill their own family. We cannot ever call a person homeless. There's no such thing as a person or vegetable. Daddy in heaven said that. To me, he's direct. He said, listen, he said, I made the vegetables in the garden, in the ground, and the fruits on the trees. I would never make my child a vegetable. They're only still. They're only still. So think a little bit before you take that plug, no matter who wants it or why, because nobody has the right to sign any paper. God only has the right to say, come home now. But what I'm trying to bring out is this word homeless. So what other words should we use? Well, God said, stop calling my children homeless. Call them in between. Notice how he said it twice. In between. Why did he say it twice? Very simple. A teacher will tell you, repeat it, and you learn it. And there's no shame to that. No, there's no shame to that. And now we've given them dignity and pride. No, we've let them have it. We didn't take it away. Now we can work with them and talk to them and be with them because they're no different than anybody else. And don't ever think that you are better than someone else, because you're not. It's like a heavy person. They can't maybe do too much. But there's a big ladder leaning against the roof. And the heavy person sees the wind blowing and the roof are coming down. And then he realizes the wind is blowing, that roof is going to go flying off with the ladder. He comes running up lays against the ladder, puts his feet the right way, shuts his muscles. The ladder doesn't move an inch. And that man was coming down. He could climb the ladder, but he could not be on the ground also. Each of us need each other. Woman and man needs. Just remember, when you are in the word married, what happens? As the mountain man would say, he sees the woman and the man in one when he sees the man. He sees the man in the woman as one when he sees the woman. We must remember we all are part of each other. And every time we take one little finger to hurt anyone, I don't care what the reason is and what the reason you got, you're hurting yourself because you're all part of one. And the word is homeless. Don't use it. Don't abuse it. And if you want to hear something else, I'll tell you one other thing. I wasn't going to say it, but just heard Daddy tell me. Yes, I call Daddy. The Pope once said to me, he's not your daddy, he's God. You have to fear him. I can't fear someone I love. It's impossible. I respect out of fear, but I can't fear. Fear is when you are afraid to go near that person, or afraid to talk to that person. Well, my friends out there, talk to Daddy. Talk to God, the King of Kings. Tell him how much you love him, how much you need him, because he needs us. He needs our love. Why do you think he says, I give you, knock on the door, and it shall be open, seek and you shall find, search and there it'll be, ask and you shall receive at my time.
Excuse me, I've got behind.
Sorry, man. At my time, God bless you, at my time, see and believe, and don't take that breath away, that drop of air or breath that God gives you. How do you take it away? By anything you do to slow your breath up. Cigarettes are very high right now, very high. And yet people complain about every kind of price in the market. But they don't complain about the cigarettes. And then they cough and choke and say they got a cold. Well, God told me that's a cigarette cough, no matter what your age is. Listen to me, my sisters and brothers out there, to an old fool that you can see right here, with the greatest heart and the greatest love that you could ever imagine. I give my life for you. But what good would it do if I chopped this arm off, or broke these fingers, or cut an eye out, or broke my leg, or smashed it? What good would it do? It'd only show me up. I couldn't do much as fast. But it wouldn't prove anything to you. You'd always say, what more can he do for me? Well, God has done it for you. God keeps doing it for you. Our Daddy in heaven, he says, call me and I'll talk to you. When is the last you talked to him? Sure, you talk to him when he gets something, somebody dies. Oh my God, he killed me, or he took my son. No, he didn't take your son. He allowed it to happen. Things on this earth causes the ignorance, or maybe just slack, laziness, not taking the time, not belting the seatbelt properly, not closing the doors and making sure they're locked when your children are in the seat, or even the seats are properly done. It may be something more different, or maybe a fire will break out of the house because you didn't check the wire system. God allowed it. He didn't cause it. He's never done any harm to you. In the 7 days of that week, the last day he rested. Rested means keep going on, but change something. Sleep means close your eyes and do nothing and let him accomplish it from the brain he gives you. And then you wake up and accomplish more. Sometimes you rest, sometimes you sleep. All my life I basically rested. But a few years back, God said, you must sleep now. And I've been sleeping. Well, the nightmares through my life and what I've gone through is quite high. But once in a while, now I do sleep. But I don't sleep long because I don't like to. I'm not saying what you should do. Everybody does different things. What I'm saying is this. How would you like someone to take your dignity and pride away from you? How would you like someone to kick you in the face every time they see you by saying, here's a handout, get away from me. I'll give you money, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Like I said, when I was hearing this man's confession in an old nursing home, and many years I've heard different people's confession, they said the same thing if they were in that position. Word homeless, which they thought they were. They lost a house, or their apartment for sure, or a car that they were sleeping in, or maybe some shelter. And that's just what it is, shelter. Shelter, what is a home? I'll tell you, what is a family? A family is daddy. You and daddy, God above. He loves you so much, that makes the family. And what makes the home? Well, naturally, a family makes the home because why? Because God is there with love. If there's not love, it'll never be a home. It'll only be what it is, a house, an apartment. And yes, I talk to all the real estates. I love you very dearly because you got me a beautiful home in Dumont years ago. But listen very carefully. You didn't get me a home. You got me a house. God made it with his love, a family into the home. But I appreciate it. But I say to all the real estates, or anybody use that expression, say house or apartment or shelter. A home is like I said. I asked the Pope one time when we looked in the mirror, I said, picture, there's God right there. There's God. And now next to God is you, Pope. And he said, okay. And he looked. I said, how many people do you see? Well, he paused a little bit. Oh, well, 4. He was seeing with his eyes and hearing with his ears, and he's the top sheep. And then he's a shepherd of the sheep on this earth now. Now the new Pope came. He wants to spank our children. He says it's okay. I heard it on TV. I think he's confused, a little bit mixed up. Because Jesus would say, and God is the top-notch shepherd. And he would say, as Jesus said, turn this cheek and turn that cheek. And then one apostle said, well, how many times, Lord? And he looked up into the heavens and said, how many times it takes. We must not think we're going to end anything with hate or even controlling. We're going to end things with love. But the word now is wholeness. Call your sisters and brothers, very simple. No shame to that, because now they're in between situations like the man of God, Jim the Entertainer, is right now between these beautiful people that are taking their precious time. And time is precious. Time is the most valuable gift you can give to your loved ones. Remember that, because it's your time. God bless you.
Girl.